What is happening in the greater Seattle area real estate market, and why are 6 in 10 Americans concerned about our economy?
Welcome to May's Market Update. We will go over the most recent market stats, talk about the latest in current market conditions, and mention key points so whether you are a buyer or a seller, you are in the know. We will be looking at King and Snohomish County numbers, as well as the numbers for the city of Seattle. When doing so, we are comparing the numbers from April of 2021 to the numbers of April of 2022, so you can have a year-over-year comparison. Let's dive in.
In last month's market update, King and Snohomish County saw an increase in the number of homes that came on the market versus last year. However, in April, only Snohomish County saw an increase of 5.4% more homes hitting the market. In King County, we had a decrease of 5.2% homes come on the market. And in the city of Seattle, we saw a significant decrease of nearly 20% fewer homes hit the market versus a year ago.
Now, let's mention the speed at which homes are selling. Across the board, homes sold faster than this time last year. For example, in Snohomish County, the average time it took to sell a home last April was 13 days. And in this April, it took only 8 days. For King County, the average was 14 days last year and only 9 days this April. For Seattle, the average days on market was 19 last year versus this April only 11 days. That means the average number of days to sell a home dropped by about 42% in Seattle.
Another revealing statistic is the sales price to list price ratio, because it tells us just how much above or below the list price homes are selling. In Snohomish County, homes went from selling for 9.8% above the asking price to selling for 10.7% above the asking price year over year. For King County, homes went from selling for 9.4% above the list price to 12% above the list price year over year. And in Seattle, homes went from selling at 7.4% above the list price to 12.5% year over year. So a big jump.
Now, let's talk about the median sales price for each area. In Snohomish County, the median sales price went up from $667,000 to $841,000 year over year. That's just over 26%. For King County, the median sales price went up from $835,000 to $1 million year over year, which is an increase of 19.8%. And in Seattle, the median sales price went up from $860,000 to $994,000 year over year, which is an increase of 15.6%. Values continued to trend from March 2022 and increased well above $100,000 in all three areas over the past year.
Now that we got the numbers out of the way, let's briefly talk about the R word. That's right, recession. Economists predict that we are headed towards a recession, and it's not a matter of if, but when. This recent CBS News article sums it up by saying, quote, Americans are increasingly worried about the economy, with about 6 in 10 concerned that a major recession is right around the corner, according to a recent survey from Alliance Life. The reasons for their anxiety are clear. Economic activity shrank in the first 3 months of the year, inflation is at a 40-year high, and the stock market is sliding. Despite those signals, most Wall Street economists do not expect a recession this year. More likely, they say it's a hard landing in 2023, linked to the Federal Reserve's move to hike interest rates. More on interest rates in just a moment.
Okay, this is very important to keep an eye on as a recession affects the housing market. However, it is important to know that not all recessions cause housing prices to go down. Some housing prices continue to go up despite a recession. But when we do have a recession, it is not likely to see a continued dramatic increase in home prices like we've experienced recently. If you want to learn more regarding how the housing market is affected during times of recession and crisis, check out this video linked above.
With regard to interest rates, according to Mortgage News Daily, the 30-year fixed rate mortgage is now above 5.5%, and it's expected to continue to increase throughout the rest of this year. Why? Because the Fed wants to and needs to combat the out-of-control inflation. Just 2 months ago, in March 2022, you could still get a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage in the high 3s. So this is crushing many buyers' ability to purchase a home and causing some to just sit on the sidelines. In short, our frenzied sellers market across the greater Seattle region is not as crazy as it was. Now let's talk about the key points for buyers.
1. Some good news for you buyers. You have less competition compared to a month ago. Check out this article from Housing Wire titled, "Mortgage Applications Nosedive as Rates Continue to Soar." Many buyers are priced out of the market or have given up their home search altogether due to the fierce competition. Fewer buyers and fewer offers to compete against means your chances are better when making an offer.
Number 2, this is still a strong seller's market and it is not easy for buyers. So consider making some compromises. We are not suggesting that you buy a home you won't be happy with, but let's be real. Since values and interest rates are so much higher than they were just a year ago or even a couple of months ago, you need to reevaluate where you are willing to make some compromises so you can still be a proud homeowner within your budget.
Number 3, hedge your bets. Yes, with interest rates having jumped, it's much harder on your monthly mortgage payment. However, don't let that stop you from purchasing. When you lock in a rate in the 5% range and rates go up to 6% or more, you'll count your blessings. And if they go down, you can refinance into a lower rate when it makes sense. Now, here are the key points for sellers.
Number 1, we are seeing more signs that we are at or near the peak for this soaring home appreciation. All of the numbers we just went over at the beginning of this video talk about past sales and numbers. However, with regard to the current pendings and active listings, we have seen a noticeable shift. Across the board, sellers are receiving fewer offers. In the first 3 months of this year, 5, 10, or even more offers were common. In the past several weeks, we are starting to see fewer showings, resulting in a declining number of offers.
Number 2, though we are still in a seller's market, over the past 2 months, 14%, or 1 out of every 7 homes has sold for less than the asking price. This trend could rise in the near future. If you want to know how to navigate this situation, then you need to check out this video linked above.
Number 3, be smart about your pricing strategy. As we just mentioned, there are fewer offers being submitted. This means you want to price your home well, but not necessarily expect or count on a huge bidding war. Before determining the list price for a home, we make sure to call all the listing agents of both the active homes for sale and the most recent comparable pendings to see their activity. Then we have a conversation with our sellers to determine if they want to price with or without an offer review date strategy.
Number 4, this is still an excellent time to sell. We are still in a seller's market due to the lack of inventory and strong demand. Keep in mind, we also see a shift happening.
As always, we keep a sharp eye on the market so that you can stay up to date. If you want to stay in the know regarding the Seattle area real estate market, make sure it's your mission to click that like button and be sure to subscribe. See you in the next video.